Hi friends, welcome back. In this video I'm going to be going over equipment, weapons, and consumables, basically everything that's changed from the beta version to the live version of Daggerheart. So let's jump right in. Should be a quick episode. Not too many changes to go over here. A lot of repeats, so we can kind of move through it quickly. Looking at tier 1 physical damage, primary weapons, halberd and spear both had their damage increased but gained the cumbersome trait, which is a negative to finesse. I will note that spear probably will get changed. It is a finesse weapon, so it's kind of weird that it's getting a minus finesse on a finesse weapon, so that might get updated. I'll keep you in the loop whenever I hear differently. Was a d8, now they are both rolling d10s plus 2. Warhammer's heavy trait was updated. It used to be -1 to agility, now it is -1 to evasion. Longbows also got a base damage die upgrade. It was a d6, now it is a d8 plus 3 physical. As far as magic primaries go, Hollowed Axe got damage reduced. It is a d8 plus 1. It was a d10 originally. Glowing Rings have their damage reduced just a little bit. It was a plus 2, now it's a plus 1. In Returning Blade, damage also got reduced. It lost its plus 1, so it's now just a d8. It did gain the Returning feature, which just describes when the weapon's thrown within range, it appears back in your hand immediately after the attack. And Scepter also had Versatile get updated. This lets you use the Scepter weapon with different traits. It was a presence weapon with melee, and it was a d8. That damage has been reduced as well. Secondary weapons, or secondary offhands, if you will. Tower Shield got a buff and a nerf. Both the armor score and the evasion were decreased by 1. So evasion was a negative stat anyway, so kind of like a buff there, but yeah, armor score's down on the Tower Shield. Going into tier 2, physical primary weapons, improved mace had damage reduced. It's now dealing a d8 plus 4. Improved halberd, improved spear, that's going to show up again. It's now they're both doing d10s plus 5. Improved longbow doing a d8 plus 6. And Blunderbuss got a double buff, if you will. Damage was increased. It's now doing a d8 plus 6 physical, and reloading got reworked as well. After you make an attack roll, you roll a d6. On a result of 1, you must mark a stress to reload this before you can fire it again. Previously, it cost you an action, and it was only rolling a d6. So, 2 good changes there. Magic primary weapons in tier 2 improved Hallowed Axe. Damage is decreased because of the base die. It's doing a d8 plus 4. Improved Returning Blade is a d8 plus 3 now. And improved Scepter, the Versatile, is a d8 plus 3. So melee damage is down. Secondary Tower Shield barrier is plus 3 armor score, still -1 evasion. And Spiked Shield, double duty now, is a plus 1 to armor score and a plus 1 to your primary weapon damage. So armor got reduced on the Spiked Shield. Going into tier 3, physical primary weapons, advanced halberd and advanced spear are both doing d10s plus 8. Advanced warhammer still has the -1 to evasion. Advanced longbow is a d8 plus 9. Brave sword, brave was changed. Originally it was -1 to agility, now it is -1 to evasion and plus 3 to severe damage threshold. Hell's hammer was renamed to Hammer of Wrath, otherwise no changes there. Black powder revolver, range was decreased. It used to be very far, now it's too far. And damage was also decreased. It's a d6 plus 8 physical. Still with the reloading buff, that works the same, using a stress instead of an action now. And Spiked Warbow Versatile, this weapon can also be used with the stats agility. Melee does d10 plus 5. That melee damage was decreased as well. Secondary weapons, the Advanced Tower Shield barrier is a plus 4 armor score with a -1 to evasion. And then the buckler, no changes somehow, actually. I was kind of blown away that there was no changes to the buckler. It's kind of wild that it made it through. But yes, the buckler is in the final game with no changes. Enjoy playing with the buckler or enjoy banning it in your games. Yeah, have fun with that one. As far as magic primaries here for tier 3, advanced hallowed axe is a d8 plus 7. The advanced returning blade is a d8 plus 6. Advanced scepter, melee damage reduced to a d8 plus 4. Gilded bow, self-correcting. When you roll a 1 on the damage die, it deals 6 instead. That damage has been decreased. And then Ilmari's blunderbuss has been renamed to Ilmari's rifle, and it just got the reloading change, as well as a name rename. Hopping down to tier 4, physical primary weapons, legendary halberd and spear, d10s plus 11, legendary warhammer, still -1 evasion, legendary longbow, d8 plus 12, curved daggers got a nerf, serrated got changed. When you roll a 1 on the damage die, it deals an 8 damage instead. That damage was reduced. Hand cannon also just got updated with the reloading tag. As far as primary weapons go, magic primary weapons, legendary hallowed axe is doing a d8 plus 10. Legendary returning blade is a d8 plus 9. Legendary scepter, the melee damage has been reduced to a d8 plus 6. And Magus revolver just got updated with the reloading tag. As far as secondary weapons for tier 4, legendary tower shield is a plus 5 to armor score, still -1 to evasion. Knuckle claws got buffed. The double up trait here, when you make an attack with your primary weapon, you can deal damage to another target within melee range. It used to deal secondary damage. That restriction was removed, so assuming this is working as it's written, you can now deal your main hand damage to that, so very good. And then the primer shard locked on successful attack. Your next attack against the same target with your primary weapon automatically succeeds. Previously, this required you to make the offhand attack, which was like a d4. That restriction has been removed, so as it's read here, should still be should be good buff. Should be a good buff. Jumping over to armor, I think the best thing to do here, I will put just generally the tier 1 and tier 2, I'll just kind of throw them up on screen. The armor thresholds, I'm not going to go down each of the individual armor thresholds because those are all new since armor kind of gained thresholds over the patch. But in general, I'll go over all the changes. In tier 1, leather armor base score is down to 3. Chainmail and plate armor base scores have been decreased to 4 as well. In tier 2, improved leather armor down to 4. Improved chain and plate down to 5. Eldurian chain armor base score was 4 now, so this has been buffed. It was 2. And then warded, when you receive incoming magic damage by your armor score, you reduce incoming magic damage by your armor score before applying it to your damage threshold, so kind of works how old armor used to work. Definitely a really good new chest piece. Harrowborn armor base score is down to 4 from 5, and resilient is its trait. Before you mark your last armor slot, roll a d6. On the result of a 6, you basically use the armor slot without marking it. You reduce the severity of the damage incoming by 1 threshold without marking an armor slot. Very good trait. Iron Tree breastplate armor score has been reduced from a 4 down from a 5, and reinforced has been changed. When you mark your last armor slot, increase your damage thresholds by +2 until you clear at least 1 armor slot. Rune 10 floating armor base score has been decreased to 4, and shifting has been changed. When you are targeted for an attack, you can mark an armor slot to give the attack roll against you disadvantage. And then Rosewild armor base score has been decreased to 5. Jumping down to tier 3, advanced leather armor is now 5, chainmail and plate is 6, and Bellomi, I don't know how to say that, guys, sorry. Bellamoy fine armor base score has been reduced to 5, and gilded gives you a +1 to your presence trait. Dragon scale armor base score has been reduced to 5 and has impenetrable once per short rest. When you mark your last hit point, you can instead mark a stress. So nice little get out of a death row there. Blade Fair armor base score has been reduced to 6 from 8. Monette's cloak base score has been reduced to 6 from 8, and Runes of Fortification base scores has been reduced to 6 from 10. And then tier 4, those also, by the way, are keeping all of their features. These are just the changes. Tier 4, legendary Gambitson base score is a 6 now, was a 7. Legendary leather armor base score is a 6, was 8. Legendary chainmail and full plate are both 7, was 9 and 10. It's gonna be fun going over the names. Dunamis, Silk Chain, base score is now a 7, so it's an increase from 5. And time slowing, you can mark an armor slot to roll a d4 and add its result as a bonus to your evasion against an incoming attack. This is very similar to what the buckler did, so very, very powerful effect. Well worth it. Channeling armor, base score of 5, decreased from 7. Ember woven armor, the base score is now 6, down from 8. Full fortified armor, base score is now 4 as opposed to 8. And fortified gives you, when you mark an armor slot, you reduce the severity of an attack by 2 thresholds instead of 1. So fortified is really good. Basically double armor slots, so very, very good. Veritas Opal armor, base score is 6 now, was 8, and the Savior Chainmail base score is 8, down from 15. And it also has difficult trait, which is a -1 to all character traits and evasion. And then jumping over to consumables and loot, basically things you can pick up. Charging Quiver has been changed. When you succeed in an attack with an arrow stored in this quiver, you gain a bonus to the damage roll equal to your current tier. Minor Stamina Potion has been changed. As a downtime move, you can use the bone of a creature to craft a Minor Stamina Potion. Minor Health Potion recipe has been changed. As a downtime move, you can use a Vial of Blood to craft a Minor Health Potion. Focus Room and Focus Relic and Sharp Relic have both been renamed. Focus is now Control. Sharp is now Enlightened. And as far as consumables go, same kind of pattern here. Focus Potion has been renamed to Control Potion. Sharp Potion has been renamed to Enlightened Potion. Same for the major versions of those. Major Umbra Potion has been renamed to Major Charm Potion. Hope Hold Flare. The flare now lasts until the end of the scene. So this used to be it lasts until the end of up until your next rest. Now it'll just be like for the scene, for the negotiation, or the combat, or whatever you're doing. Shrinking Tea Potion got nerfed. It now gives a -1 penalty to your proficiency. Growing Potion now gives a +1 bonus to your proficiency. Mirror of Marigold, major nerf on this one. It no longer allows you to reflect the damage back at the attacker. So that was a very, very powerful effect, and it's gone now, so no need to worry about it. And that sums up all of the equipment changes. Like I said, video should be pretty quick. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Next one's going to be a massive video where I'm going over all of the changes for all of the domains, so stay tuned. Probably coming out on Saturday once I finally get that all wrapped up and finished. Appreciate you guys watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Supporting the content is all super helpful. All right, guys, take it easy. We'll see you in the next one.